So I hope this film can be an escape for people, to remind people that you're not alone in the struggle. There are other people struggling, in fact struggling worse than you even, and so perspective is important.
Yeah, so I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for movies in Sweden.
Hey Jonathan, how you
How
doing,
are
man?
you?
I'm doing great now when I get to speak with the two of you. I watched the movie a few days ago, and I loved it. And it's truly like it's inspirational to kind of watch that story. And I even went to the gym today for the first time in
Oh,
like years.
awesome.
So
Very
so
nice.
that's really good.
I love it.
Uh, Yeah. So I know, JRL, that you got to work out with Anthony for like 7 months
Yeah.
prior to shooting this movie. And I actually spoke with Eddie Redmayne the other day, and he said that um, like making a movie where you're playing a real character is one of the most daunting things to do as an actor.
Yeah.
And here you are like working out with the guy that you're going to play.
Yeah.
Uh, so how is that to really get to bond with someone? Because I feel like you really do that when you work out with someone.
Yeah, I feel lucky. I don't know how often you ever get to have this experience. Usually it's an interview for 20 minutes or a book I get to read, but this turned into something that ended up being so much passion for me and care for me. This became larger than me. It wasn't the guy I'm playing in a film. This became a friend of mine and somebody that I wanted to make sure I did this right for and I did justice for it, you know? And it informed a lot of the performance. I got to study him and observe him without him even knowing. I know it sounds weird, but I got to just sit back and watch him in all these different settings, and that in turn informed a lot of the performance.
Yeah, and how is it for you, Anthony, to kind of get a front row seat of the guy who's actually going to play you? Most people don't get to experience that ever.
That was incredible, but it was definitely some mixed feelings there. There was excitement, but also it was just this fear of, okay, who's going to tell my story? How are they going to tell it? Am I going to recognize my life up there? And for Jarrell coming on board, I remember him telling me, when we initially met, I'm going to make you proud of this story. I'm going to make you proud of your story. And that was very special to me because it allowed me just to, over time, I just was able to have complete trust in him and just this belief and knowing that he was going to share my story in the most authentic way he could, and he did an outstanding job doing that. So to be able to see that on set, just be behind the camera and watching him, I was amazed, and it felt like a lot of times I was just reliving moments as he was going through them on the screen. So that for me was therapeutic in a lot of ways because she captured in words what I really had difficulty saying in words at times as I was going through the moments.
Yeah. What do you guys hope? Only have like a minute left now, but what do you hope that people take away from watching this movie?
Film has always been an escape for me, and I think for a lot of us, it's always been medicine for very dark times, and I think that's what we're all in right now, regardless of what we're going through, whether it's, cultural, political, financial. There's this sort of burden over us all, it feels like. So I hope this film can be an escape for people, to remind people that you're not alone in the struggle. There are other people struggling, in fact, struggling worse than you even, and so perspective is important right now in today's day, I think. So I think this film can give a lot of perspective, and especially to the young kids and the youth and people and kids who are lost and maybe want to pick up a sport but don't know how to, maybe want to try something but don't know how to. This is the film for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm really waiting for that next Spider-Man movie as well, because you're amazing in that too.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh
thanks a
yeah.
lot for taking the time to
Thanks,
speak
man.
with me today, and best luck with the premiere now.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.